Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to create a kitchen sink in FreeCAD. We'll be using sheet metal workbench for this, and we'll be using forming tool. So the sheet metal workbench, it is not default workbench of FreeCAD. You can download it from add-on manager. If you go to tools in menu, add-on manager, open it, and here you can find a sheet metal workbench, and I have installed it. If you want to install it also, you have to press this button, install, and restart of FreeCAD after that. And when you have installed sheet metal workbench, let's continue to this tutorial. So let's start with creation a flat plate of our sheet metal, and let's go to part workbench here, and we can use for creation of flat plate this box, but we can just set this box parameters. I want to set for length 400 millimeters, for width I will set 200 millimeters, and the height, it will be the thickness of sheet metal plate, it will be 1 millimeter. Okay, so now we have our flat plate, and now let's perform field operation for these angles. So because we want to have a smooth corners for our kitchen sink, so let's choose this field tool in FreeCAD, and here we have a window with all edges of this flat plate, and we can manually choose these edges. This and it will be activated here. Let's choose this, and last one, let's choose this edge. And now we can to manually set the field radius for any edge, but we can to also set all these radiuses for all edges using this row. I will set 10 millimeters radius, and after that we have our field, and let's make a copy of this field. Let's press copy, choose all dependencies, press OK, and after that here let's make a paste, and you will get two different parts of your plates. I will show you what we will be doing with second plate. We will be using this second plate like a forming like a form for our forming in sheet metal workbench. So let's rename it, like maybe we don't want to rename it. Rename this, it will be a sheet metal plate, and we will be working with this. So for this let's change the position of this plate in that direction. Let's set, I think, 200 millimeters. Maybe let's doing it in positive or negative direction, it doesn't matter, but I want to use it in negative. Okay, so after that when we have this, let's change the size of this. So I have the orthogonal perspective view. I will change it to orthogonalic view to see real dimensions of this plate. If you will choose this top view, you can see our plate is equals. And let's change the dimensions of this plate. Let's go to button and choose our field here, and let's go to cube parameters, and let's make these dimensions some smaller value. Click the refresh here and you will get your plate some smaller dimensions. After that, let's change the position in X and Y direction, and we will set in center of this, because we have the difference of this between this plate 20 millimeters for width and for length. Let's set the position in X and Y direction to 10 millimeters. So let's set here 10 and set here 10, and you will get the central position for this plate. I will make it here. You can see our plate is some smaller. So after that, let's change the thickness of this form plate. I will change the thickness here in cube 001. I will set for height 5 millimeters. We compute it, and I will get this most high value of thickness. So after that, let's choose this face, and on this face we will create the some forming parts for our kitchen sink. Let's choose this plate. Let's go to Sketcher, create. On this face we will create it to the Sketcher, and here let's hide our sheet metal plate. We don't use it here. We use this plate for form. Okay, let's choose rectangle, or this. Maybe let's choose this rectangle is rounded corners here, and let's press some position for our part of kitchen. I will set some random value and let random position, and if you will choose these 2 points using control button on your keyboard, you can choose these points and set the constraint in vertical distance. And for example, for here, let's set 130 millimeters, and for this width, let's set maybe this value. And we also can to decrease or increase the rounded corners. If you choose this corner, you can set it this manually. Let's set here 25, I think, and let's set the position. Let's this position rectangle on this flat plate. Let's choose this tool, and let's make the edge from our 3D model. Let's import this edge, and we can to set the dimension between this edge and this rectangle. Set 20 maybe, and after that, let's close the sketch, go to tasks, close, and for the sketch we will make the extrusion operation in part workbench. Let's go to part workbench, extrusion operation, and we will make some extrusion here. Let's set 20, maybe bigger value. I think it can be 50. Yeah, I think it's enough. And now let's, for our form press, let's make here the sum rectangle or the sum field operation. Choose this edge, choose tool the field, and choose another edges, these external edges, and let's set the radius here for all these edges, activated edges. I think maybe 15. Try it, press OK. 15 looking good, I think. So let's after that we have these two different bodies here. We have this flat plate and this part in different bodies. We have to merge them. Press Ctrl button for field 001 in this part, and for this both let's make a boolean operation for merge them to one part. We have to make apply it, and after that let's make a refine true. It will improve our 3D model and delete some edges from body if we have, and try to merge them. Okay, after that we have this one body and we have this our sheet metal plate. Let's go. I will show you what mean the forming operation on a wall in FreeCAD. So let's go to sheet metal workbench. Let's choose this plate here. Let's choose this. Maybe first we have to use this sheet metal plate. Second we use the face for form, and press this one operation, make forming in wall. Try it, and how can you see? You will get here the sum forming, wall forming, using these two different body, this and plate. And the thickness of this will be 1 millimeters for wall forming. But let's continue to creation the form body. I will show you. So let's return previous state of our model using Ctrl Z. If you will press Ctrl plus Z, make it, you will get your previous state of FreeCAD modeling. So after that I recommend you to save your project. For example, using this model, save yes. If FreeCAD is crashed, you can to return your previous state of your model. So let's continue to create a form part. Let's use this face again, and let's to create a sketch on this face. On flat plate, let's hide again the sheet metal plate using space button, toggle visibility, and on this surface we have to create these rounded rectangles. So let's set the dimension of this rectangle, horizontal dimension. Press Ctrl button on keyboard and choose these 2 points, set constraint, set the dimension. I want to use this dimension. Let's set the width of this part. Let's set, I think 10 will be enough. And of course you can set the round value, the radius. For example, it can be 3 millimeters, or I think we can set 4. Okay, and let's to link our position for this rectangle with our form body part. So let's use this external geometry import again. Let's import this external edge, for example, and let's choose this point and this point, and let's connect it using this set this dimension and connect this. Let's set 30 millimeters here. This radius will be width, and after that let's close the sketch. And now for the sketch, let's make the extrusion operation in part workbench. Let's go to part workbench again, choose the sketch and make extrusion. Extrude it, use this icon. We have to choose this sketch here, and now let's set the length of extrusion. I think 5 millimeters. Let's set it. You can use another value. This is what you want, but for this tutorial I'll use this 5 millimeters here. We'll get this form some rectangle. Okay, so let's make the field of these corners for these edges. Let's choose one edge. Let's choose field operation, and let's choose this around these edges. Yes, and we have here all edges activated, and let's set value of radius. I think I will set 3 millimeters, and let's try it. Yeah, it's look good. And for this part we have to make array, linear array on this negative y direction here to here. For this let's go to draft workbench. In draft workbench we can use this operation, array tools, it's called, like array tools, and here we have to set up of our array. We have here that we want to make array for this body in y negative direction. Let's set the y direction, and let's set the number of copy of this. Let's set, I think, 8, maybe 10, and let's x intervals, we don't use it, we can press 0, and for y we will be using the negative value, and set for this, I think, 15. See, we don't use it also, and press OK, and you will get this array here, but I think is this rectangles is big number, and let's reduce it. Let's go to array again, and let's change the count in y direction. Let's set, I think, 8. Yes, 8 is enough, it's looking good. And after that we have to make one else operation, is a boolean operation to merge this body of form, general form, and this parts of array. Let's choose it. Let's go to part workbench. and let's go perform Boolean operation again. Boolean operation, let's choose the union. It will be some merging of fusion and array part. Press apply, press close, and you will get this one body. Let's activate the refine true. I always use this refine true. And after that, let's show us our sheet metal plate here. And also in draft workbench, we activate this grid of mesh. Let's hide it in draft. Let's go to draft workbench, go to utilities, and let's hide it using this toggle grid. Hide it and go to part workbench again. Now you can see that we have this form for our plate. Let's go to sheet metal workbench and let's choose the face of sheet metal plate, this face of our form, and let's make forming. Let's try it. And how can you see? We have got our wall forming for our sheet metal plate and this form. So after that, let's create some holes for this and here also. Let's create holes, and we can make holes in part design workbench. Let's activate the part design workbench. Let's choose wall forming. Let's go here and click create body. Let's go to model, and how can you see that we import this like a base feature to part design workbench, because I choose it in the tree before I create a body of part design workbench. And now I can work with this body which linked with this wall forming here. Let's choose this face, and let's create the sketch on this face. Let's create some random circle here, and let's set some position for this circle. I think we can use this and this export these lines to sketch from external body, and if you will choose this point, and this point, and you will set the constraint symmetrical, you can get that you have some symmetry constraint. It will be a central. I think we can use this central for but we cannot change the position here. Let's delete it. And I think we have to use the point for this, and let's create point and find this central using this thing, using this constraint, and you can find this central position. And let's go to sketcher tool or sketcher constraints, and let's use this toggle driving, but it's not what I want. I think we have to toggle construction geometry in sketcher geometries. Let's click it, and you will get here some blue lines. It will help us to find the central position here, and also we can to create the central position for this line. Also just use, for example, these 2 points, find this point, and let's set again constraint symmetrical, and now we have the central position for this and for this. After that, let's connect this point with this line, set this constraint, and how can you see we cannot to change the position of this point? It means that we can to connect these 2 points to one point constraint coincident. Yes, and so now we have that the right position of this circle for creation of hole. So we have used for these constraints the symmetrical constraint, this, and also another constraints like point onto object of edge. And these blue lines means that if you will close a sketch, you can see that we have only the circle. Blue lines is hidden, and it means that it doesn't crash our creation of extrusion operation. Blue lines is ignored when we have it, and white lines are working like a sketch, a physical sketch for creation of models, extrusion or CAD operation, another thing. For example, here we have to choose this circle and create a hole. And for hole, let's choose the metric profile, and let's choose the size of our drill bit. And 10, I think it's small. Let's set this a big hole. Let's press OK. And now we have our kitchen sink, almost enough. And I think let's create one else hole here. Let's choose this face, let's choose the sketcher, and let's return white lines here. Click the toggle construction geometry tool. Let's create toggle. I will set this position of toggle. I will set random position where I don't want to set up this position here, and let's choose this toggle and create a hole. After that, let's also use the metric regular profile, and let's set, for example, M8. Okay, maybe M10. Press OK, and now we have finished of creation of our kitchen sink using the sheet metal forming in FreeCAD. So you can save it to your project, for example, save it and export it, for example, to another CAD systems using the step format or STL format. So this is the finish of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.